My upbringing did not prepare me for the challenges I faced in my life. My father felt that Parsis were over-westernized and learnt English and perhaps some foreign language, French or Italian, but didn't bother to learn the Indian language. So he sent me to a Gujarati medium school which taught English as a second language, and my English was pretty poor. My brothers, he didn't experiment and didn't take any chances. He sent them to English medium schools. I'll give you an incident. At our St. Xavier's College function, at a party, someone said, Farida lost her shirt. And I piped in, but Farida didn't wear a shirt. And everyone laughed at me, and I felt pretty bad. But though my school was very good, I did not appreciate because of my feeling of not so good, not knowing English. Today I realize nobody's self-worth should be linked to knowing a language or not knowing. It has nothing to do with your self-worth. In fact, living in India, we should know one of the Indian languages. I was born in an upper middle class family in Dadar in Bombay. My father had a small manufacturing business. I was better in studies than both my brothers, but not once was I encouraged to join the family business, nor prepare me for a career, and the constant message I got was, marry and produce. After passing out from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, I married a wonderful man called Rohinton, who helped me to influence me to think for myself and find my purpose. We moved to Pune because our business needed space, so we came to Pune. By then, I had 2 children, my daughter Meher and my son Kurush. In Pune, I got friendly with affluent, sophisticated women who played cards and mahjong, and I joined that group. I enjoyed this phase in my life. My husband kept nagging me that I was so much more interesting when I was working. And the more he nagged, I became defiant, and I said, I am an adult, you can't tell me what to do. Up to this part of my life, I had no special purpose and indulged myself. My husband Rohinton was in his 40s, and he had a massive heart attack. And the doctors said, this is a bad case, please go to England and get the operation, bypass operation. On the 3rd day, he had a stroke. And this brilliant man did not recognize me, could not read, write, and his right hand was partially paralyzed. Doctors predicted that he will never fully recover because a large part of his brain is damaged. But with determination and grit, Rohinton wrote A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4 for months and used his hands with the help of his physiotherapist. Within 2 years, he was himself, and he led a delegation abroad and authored a book. This taught me a very important lesson. Never take an expert's opinion as final and have faith in yourself. Rohinton was a workaholic and a great smoker, and like a magnet was attracted to all the wrong things in eating. I cooked good food, I took the trouble to cook, and with his sense of humor, he would tell me, delicious, do cook it when I'm out of town. Well-wishers advised that I take interest in a private limited company because our children were young and we were rather vulnerable. I joined in HR in our company under a very nurturing boss, and after 5 years, when he left, I was made the head. I found the work challenging and enjoyed it, and our company won many HR awards. Meher, my daughter, did her master's in chemical engineering and joined our company. She married Firoz, and both of them were sent to England to turn around a small company which was not doing well. My promise to Meher was that I'll be with her in England for 6 months when she has her first child. And 4 years later, when she had the first child, I went to be with her. My 2 grandchildren named Zahan and Leah are wonderful, and I have experienced so much joy in bringing them up that now I know why they are called grand. When I returned to Mumbai, Rohinton was thrilled to have me back after 6 months, and he drove to Bombay. But before he could come to the airport, he had a massive heart attack and died. He was 60. A year before Rohinton's demise, our company had gone public, and the board insisted that I take the responsibility of executive chairman. I felt very inadequate to assume this huge responsibility. I'm not at all good at technology, very poor in finance, and I still count like this. The only reason I could succeed was I did not feel ashamed or hesitate to ask for help from my family, my colleagues, or my business friends. And I was not at all afraid or scared to take tough decisions. Often people have asked me, why didn't I sell the company? I love my company and what it stands for. And the second reason, I'm not a quitter. Rohinton was a visionary and went in for many businesses which were which had a future. Like we were the first to start software, electronics, bottled water, and many others. But those companies were not doing well, and their performance was going down. And unfortunately, the Indian economy also was not doing well, and so we were not doing well at all. We got used to satisfactory underperformance, where we were not bothered as long as we made some profit with no concern for return on investment. Unfortunately, I was not very perturbed by the poor performance. What shocked me and woke me up was a letter, anonymous letter I got from a shareholder saying, "Madam, you have let me down." For my husband and me, letting down someone is the dirtiest thing, and I couldn't sleep for days. We engaged a consulting company, closed down many divisions, which meant asking people to leave, which was very tough. We brought in performance culture, reconstituted the entire board. I think we were the first company to do that in India at that time. I was missing my husband terribly and feeling low and constantly comparing myself. For years, I had heard of a Buddhist meditation program called Vipassana and knew about it, but didn't know if I could ever manage to go for it. We are not allowed to speak, read, or write for 10 days in that program. It's a residential program. And again, my husband used to tease me, "I'd love to see you quiet but I was uncomfortable with meditating and not being quiet. I realized the futility of constantly comparing myself with my husband. I realized that an orange tree can never give apples. So if I go to an orange tree and say, please give me apples, I will not be able to enjoy the oranges and will never get apples. I accepted that however hard I tried, I could never be Rohinton, and I should stop playing this comparing game and give out my best. I was always very scared of death, and I would touch wood, make my husband stop if we were traveling from Bombay to Pune and find a wood tree and touch it. But today I know if I carry the entire jungle with me, I cannot change my destiny. Vipassana made me realize that death is inevitable. We do not know where, when, and how we will die. It is unpredictable. Let me repeat this important insight. All of us, whether young, old, will die. It is inevitable. But we don't know when, where, and how. It is unpredictable. People often refer to death as a tragedy. To me, something that is inevitable cannot be called a tragedy. It's bound to happen. To me, tragedy is not getting along with people who matter to me when they are alive and not investing in myself. I returned to work with renewed energy and self-confidence. My son Kurush had been away studying and working abroad for 10 years, and he came back and joined the company. He drove to Bangalore to retrieve an order, and on his way back he met with an accident and died. He was 25 years with his entire life ahead of him. The pain I felt when my son died receded into insignificance compared to what I felt when my husband died. With daily meditation, I am learning it is not the external events which cause pain or suffering, but how we interpret that event decides the outcome. I also learned that pain is inevitable. For a while, after an event, you will have headache, sleeplessness, all kinds of things. But suffering is optional. Suffering happens when we keep asking, why did this happen to me? Why has no answer and adds to my suffering, misery. I personally do not consider meditation as spiritual. What I have discovered that daily meditation brings me in touch with my positives and my negatives. And I call my negatives my shit because it smells. We readily accept our own positives but find it difficult to accept our shit. And once we learn to accept it, we learn to be tolerant towards other people's shit also. My son Kurush wanted a large part of our wealth to be given for social causes. After his death, I was looking for a credible NGO, and I went to see Shaheen Mystery in Mumbai and brought Akanksha, which she had started, to Pune, and my daughter helped me, and later Shaheen asked my daughter and me to be on her board. 15 years later, Shaheen asked me if I would partner her for another movement she wanted to start called Teach for India, and I readily agreed. At 61, I decided to retire while I had the energy to spend time in the social sector. Another reason I retired was I have seen many, especially men, not retiring till they are 80, 90, and all the people, younger people around them are saying, this Buddha kabhi jayega. I did not want to undignify myself. So I decided to retire when I was wanted. Board chose my daughter Mare, who I told you is a chemical engineer. She is very good at finance and doesn't count like me. And the most important thing is she has internalized our family values. At first, we started giving 30% of the dividend income from our company to social causes as philanthropy, but now we've increased to 50%. What we do, we have decided, as a family, we decide on causes where we should give. So Mayor Firoz, my grandchildren and I sit and we decided that most of it will go for education, then for health and for animal welfare. Right now, I'm 83 and very happy with life because of the warmth of my family, daily meditating, exercising and walking. I have attended 4 Vipassana programs and each one has helped me to discover myself. I love reading. I have fun with my friends and I enjoy dancing, spending time with my NGOs and travel. 2 sayings that have helped me tremendously in navigating in my life are, God, grant me the serenity to accept what I cannot change, courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And the second one is, our stay on this earth is short, our roles dispensable, and our impact inconsequential. So, don't let any success go to your head and think you are the greatest person. Thank you very much.